Since 1994, Happy Hands has been empowering children who are deaf and hard of hearing and children with communication disorders to flourish. By educating children and nurturing their families, we are building hope. We're building hope for the stories in their lives that are yet to be written. We're building hope for their eternity.
Baker was 16 months old when he got sick, and we ended up in the hospital for 30 days. In the hospital, he started having seizures, and we almost lost him. He was diagnosed with spinal bacterial meningitis, CMV, and true encephalitis. He ended up having to have brain surgery and had a shunt put in. Because of the meningitis, he does have some learning delays, and he's now partially deaf in both ears. We knew things were going to change, and our whole family was going to have to rethink how we do things. So our audiologist, Casey, told us that there was a school for children who had hearing loss, and she thought it would be a great fit for Baker. And I agree. Happy Hands is the best thing that has happened to us since the diagnosis. Baker's older brother, Kyler, is also enrolled at Happy Hands, and they have been here for 8 months now. Baker has now started to walk on his own again, which was a very big step because they told us that he might not ever be able to walk on his own. Baker and Kyler both have excelled tremendously. We are very thankful for Happy Hands.
Well, Riot, well, he's our third deaf child. He's the only one out of our children that has cochlear implants. Our other two deaf children have hearing aids.
We knew about Riot's diagnosis when we got the call from the foster care system because he was a biological sibling of our other two children who have genetic deafness. Riot was a special case in addition to his genetic deafness, he also had a cleft palate and required additional therapies and feedings and things of that nature. We knew about Happy Hands because of the experiences we had had, not only with our other two deaf children, but also the other three hearing children. All 5 of them were enrolled from birth, essentially, until graduation from Happy Hands. So we were able to get him enrolled. Having Riot at Happy Hands in a faith-based school has meant the world to us. I look at Happy Hands as hope for parents like us who in the beginning had no idea what we were doing, no idea how to help our children be successful, and becoming involved with Happy Hands and knowing that they were going to follow a faith-based curriculum, something that's going to bring us closer as a family, something that's going to bring us closer to our faith system. The foundation of their education is created in Christ, and that's pretty amazing.
Mac was born in a flurry, 17 minutes walking in the emergency room door to him on my belly. When he was born, they had a newborn screening test and he failed. It was 3 weeks between when he was born and when we went to do more testing. And after we were done, we went to the audiologist's office and she said to me, at the highest volume we're allowed to test, he had no response. So after I told Pete what the doctor had said, Pete said, how cool if he's deaf, the first voice he's gonna hear is gonna be Jesus's. And it hit me how important this was for us to learn sign language, to be able to communicate the truth of who Jesus Christ is to our son.
It's very difficult to find a school that we think is gonna be good for Mac for sure, but for Owen as well.
We lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and I found Happy Hands after we had searched so many times for things just like Happy Hands. On a whirlwind trip, we had 2 days. My mom had off work to watch our boys, and we flew out, came and saw Happy Hands, and walking into the building was like a resort, and I've told people here that many times. Mac is writing and reading and, learning to fingerspell and identify sight words. He has friends and often will tell you all of the kids' names in his class, his teachers' names and what they talked about, the jokes that happened. The world out there is so heavy for a mom of a deaf kid. And when we come in here, it's so light and it's so freeing. It's such a gift to our family.
The greatest impact that I believe Happy Hands has on our students' lives is it gives them language. And when they have language, they can be anything they want to be. When a child can come home and sign, "I love you," to mom and dad, that means everything.